Okay, well, welcome to Chapter 2-6. We're going to be talking about ratios, rates, and conversions. Okay, so the objectives for today is to find ratios and rates, and then to convert units and rates. Okay, there's no academic state standard for this one. Okay, some vocab here to start. Ratio. A ratio is comparison of two numbers by division. Okay, so it would be like 1 to 2. Okay, that's making a ratio. A rate is a particular type of ratio. It compares two quantities of different units. So a really famous one would be like miles per hour. That's a rate. A unit rate is a rate with a denominator of 1. Okay, you see this more in shopping. If you go to Walmart and you look on the tags, you're going to see like it costs so much per 1 ounce. Okay, that's a unit rate. You're finding out how much it costs per one. Okay, so essential to understanding here is that ratios and unit rates are used to compare different quantities or to help solve problems. Okay, these are really important because this allows us to solve different problems. Whether we want to know how much something would cost per item or how to compare scores to other people's scores, we have to be able to work with ratios. Okay, so example 1 here, you are shopping for sweaters. Store A sells 2 sweaters for $60 and B sells 3 sweaters for $80. Which store offers the best deal? Explain with your evidence. So essentially what we're looking for here is to show through your work what the proof would be. So let's look at store A. Store A is going to give you 2 sweaters for $60. So if we want to figure out how much that's going to be, we're going to take our cost and divide it by 2 because we're buying 2 of those items. Okay, well, 60 divided by 2 is 30. So essentially we're going to pay $30 per. Okay, well, let's look at B. Store B is going to sell you 3 sweaters for $80. So we're going to take 80 divided by 3. Okay, so we're going to take 80. How many times does 3 go in? Well, this goes in twice, which makes 6. Subtract, you get 2, 0. That goes in 6 times, which is going to give us 18. Subtract, you're left with 2. Add the decimal and the 0, add the decimal up there. And notice that we're getting the same thing, which would be 6 again. So it would be 18, which would be the same thing. And again, we would add a 0. Okay, by this point, we're going to get 6 repeating. But we're talking money. Okay, so we're going to round that to 7 cents instead of, we're going to take 2 decimal places, but round to 7. It would be 6, 6, 6, 6 repeating. Okay, which means that we're going to pay $26.67. Okay, so which one has the best deal? Store B. And why? Well, right here, 26 and 30. It's a little cheaper to go with 3 for 80. Okay, so a unit rate here was what really we're kind of looking at. That last problem, we were getting one sweatshirt or one sweater for $30, or we were getting one sweater for $26.67. Okay, a conversion factor is a ratio that has different units but at equal values. Okay, so we're going to look at that in the next problems. Okay, so when we make conversions from different units, okay, this would be converting rates. Well, we want to use the same quantity, but we want to know how many minutes, or if 330 minutes, how many hours that would be. So what we're going to do is we're going to write this problem as 330, and we're actually going to use the minutes here. Well, we want to know what the conversion factor here is going to be. Well, what I know is that I have 1 hour, which is equivalent to 60 minutes. Okay, this is the conversion factor. 1 hour, 60 minutes, that's the same thing. Many of you know that. 1 hour, 60 minutes, that's the same thing. Okay, so that's how we're going to write it up. Well, how do I know where to put things? Well, since I have minutes over here, and this is technically a fraction over 1, I have this as our original problem, minutes. I want to put minutes on the bottom. Okay, what I should finish up with is what I'm after, so I'm after hours, should be on top in the last conversion here. Okay, so what I get is just like numbers, when I have something over itself, they cancel. So the minutes actually cancel out. And then we're going to take 330 times 1 and then divide it by 60. Okay, and we can simplify that as we go and just figure out what that's going to be, or take 330 divided by 60. What that comes out to be is 5.5. Okay, 5.5. But our last units here is hours, so we know we have 5.5 hours for every 330 minutes there. Okay, well, let's look at problem B. We have 15 kilograms. We want to know how many grams. So we're going to start off by writing 15 kilograms. And this is, again, over 1. We're going to multiply by some fraction. But again, kilograms is up there, so we want to put kilograms down here. And I didn't need the S up there, so I'm going to erase that. Okay, so we have kilograms across from each other. Well, we want to go to grams, so grams goes here. So the question is, well, how many grams in a kilogram, or how many kilograms in a gram? Well, we have 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Okay, that would be a science department where you would have seen this conversion in the metric system. Well, when I take kilograms over kilograms, again, those are going to cancel. And 15 times 1,000 is going to give me 15,000 grams. So I know my answer here is 15,000. Okay, this last one's a little more tricky because we have 5 feet and 3 inches. So what we have to actually do, since we're going to inches, is we're going to convert 5 feet, but we still need to add in the 3 inches that we started with. So we write 5 feet, and we're going to convert that first. Again, 5 feet over 1. Well, what goes on bottom? Feet, good, that's right. And then we want inches on top. So how many feet in an inch, or how many inches in a foot? Okay, well, we should know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. But again, we still want to add in the 3 inches once we're done. Okay, 5 times 12 is 60. Again, we want to look at how feet over feet is going to cancel out. And we're left with inches, but plus 3 more inches, which means 5 foot 3 inches is actually 63 inches total. Okay, so that's how we make the conversions. Again, you put your units that you have started with across from each other, so they should always go across from each other. Notice each problem, and they should always cancel out, leaving you with what the last thing is, which is what we want to go to. Okay, if you have questions, let me know on that one. Okay, unit analysis. Well, we just did that. It's including units in your conversion. So notice that when we got done, we had units. When we worked through it, we had units. Okay, we just keep using our units as we work through the problem. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop there. We'll come back and do some more problems working with rates, ratios, and conversions. Okay.